Hello! It has been a while since I filmed a no-buy check-in. I am 8 months in to this no-buy, and you guys have been sending me messages through Instagram asking me how it's going, and I'm about to tell you. Okay, so first of all, it might help to give some context to just my general state of being at the moment. I have been struggling, and I've already filmed this video last weekend, but my energy levels have been so low that when I went back to go through that footage to edit so I could upload it, I realized that I couldn't upload it because I just sounded and looked depressed. And I wasn't depressed, but it was just a low energy day. And somehow when you film on camera, if your energy is just slightly below your normal state, you tend to come off as being very dull and very sad. So I decided to can that and film this again. So that's probably at least a start of an indication of how I'm going at the moment. Everything just feels really difficult, and I feel like I'm having to do things more than once because I just can't seem to get things right the first time round, and that goes for everything. I feel like I'm in a post-pandemic slump. And I feel like this is the thing that a lot of other people went through about 10 months ago. And somehow I've had a delayed reaction, which is not unusual. I'm late for everything in life. I'm behind the schedule on so many fronts. But this is just another thing that sort of was a bit of a delayed reaction for me. And suddenly it's hit me, and I'm just finding it very difficult to be motivated about anything. I'm motivated about doing the videos, but when it comes to actually sitting down and filming a video or scripting it out, just, I do write notes for my videos most of the time, this one accepted, but I do write notes for my videos most of the time to just keep me on track because I can ramble. And so when it comes to actually sitting down and filming the video and editing the video and uploading the video, it just feels a lot harder at the moment. I can still do these things, but everything just feels harder. And I'm feeling less motivated to do certain things. I've fallen out of my routine of going to the gym on a regular basis. I've fallen out of my routine of getting up early. So anyway, I'm rambling, but the point is, things have been difficult and I can't really explain why. And as a consequence of all of this, I have found myself more often than I was a few months ago, sitting down and scrolling through YouTube, through Instagram. I'm watching more YouTube videos at the moment, and just the act of watching other people review perfumes and seeing certain perfumes crop up over and over and over again makes me want those perfumes, right? And then I've been getting back into the habit of actually scrolling online to see if I can find where would I buy these perfumes if I was so inclined to buy these perfumes, and then I find them and then I might add them to the cart. And I haven't checked out yet, but it's just, I've spent so much time on my phone in the last couple of months doing this activity, right? I've wasted so much time and it's really frustrating. And I just can't seem to stop myself from doing it because I feel like I'm so low energy. I'm really struggling with just day-to-day life. It's just so much easier to flop on the couch with my phone in hand and watch some YouTube videos and search online stores for these perfumes that I keep seeing and that I'm curious about. And they're the sorts of perfumes that would be difficult for me to get samples of. So I don't know what to tell you. It's been hard, and I've really been feeling like I've been white knuckling it to just prevent myself from pressing the buy button. And then in addition to that, it has actually been a very spendy couple of months because my best friend just announced that she's getting married in Thailand next month. And we're all going. So last minute flights, relatively last minute flights to Thailand, ka-ching. And of course, going to Thailand, probably need a new swimsuit because when we went away for a few days to the beach a couple of weeks ago, I realised that my swimsuit was maybe a little bit long in the tooth, and true, I did buy it pre-pandemic, so there was that. Plus I did buy some lightweight clothes to take with us. We're going away for I think 7 days, and my goal is to do it all with just carry-on luggage. I don't want to have to check a bag. And it should be very doable for a week on a tropical island because you don't really need to take that much. So I bought some clothes and some flights, and I don't know, I feel like it's been a really spendy month. And I did buy some perfume samples which haven't arrived yet. I figured that was a pretty safe way for me to at least get a bit of a feeling like I'm trying something new. But again, it's a crazy mentality to have because I literally have drawers and drawers and drawers full of samples here, many of which I have not even tried yet. So in theory, all of those are going to be new to me. So why am I buying new samples of old perfumes that are just because I haven't tried them? And you know why? Because people are talking about them. Yeah, I'm confess, I have been struggling with this no buy, and I consider, and I'm a bit disappointed about that because the last check-in I did, or the last few check-ins I've done, I look back on it now and I think, geez, I was getting pretty smug with myself, thinking that it was so easy and that I was so logical. But I am still very susceptible to marketing, and I am very susceptible to the group mentality of if somebody is talking about something, even if it is something that I have smelled before and thought, it's nice, but I don't need it. If I thought that back at a time when I was buying freely anything that I wanted, and I didn't buy it then, why am I suddenly busting a gut to try and get a sample of it now? It just boggles the mind. So, and I see this happening a lot on other people's channels too. I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning it because we talk about this a lot in our DMs on Instagram, but Alithia from the channel that used to be called The Simple Chic Life, and I think now it's her name, Alithia Marie, she often declutters perfumes and then brings them back and declutters them and brings them back. And I think it's the same thing with a bit of distance from something. You make a decision about something and you know that you don't want it, you get rid of it, or you don't buy it in the first place. But then somebody starts talking about it somewhere and they make it sound so good and you start to second guess yourself and you think, oh, well maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance, or maybe it was just a bad day for me to smell that. And then suddenly, before you know it, you're buying that perfume again. So I can recognize the fact that I'm being sucked in because of people talking about this stuff. And the thing is, I love hearing people talking about stuff. And I particularly like it when I hear somebody talking about something that I maybe disregarded or didn't like, and they love it, and hearing the reasons why they love it, just, I don't know, it just keeps my mind open, I think, because I feel like I can be the type of person that can get very rigid about things. I like rules. I like things to be a certain way. And so things can be quite black and white in my mind. And if I decide that something doesn't wow me enough to want to buy it or to want to keep it, and then I later hear about somebody else talking about why they love it so much, in a way I kind of like that because it helps me to get a more rounded view about a fragrance without me necessarily having to have it in my own collection. And it also is good to have an appreciation for the fact that just because you don't like something doesn't mean that somebody else won't like it. And it also keeps me open-minded about the fact that everybody gets something different from fragrances. I do sometimes sit there listening to a review of something that I have smelled or own, and I'll be sitting there going, no, how can you, what do you mean you get that from it? You know, that's not what I get at all. And you know, that's my initial reaction, and it takes a few minutes for my brain to catch up and go, Cherie, it doesn't, like, everyone gets different stuff. So I still, after all these years, I still get that reaction. It's just a default human reaction, I think. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. I guess my point is, to round it all out, I have really been struggling with this no-buy in the past 2 months. I really have come so close to buying some perfume. And I did buy a bottle as a gift. That was really hard because I was putting something in my cart and checking out, and it was so tempting to just add another thing to the cart. You know, if I slip this other one in, it's really a gift for somebody else. And I caught myself trying to do that. I actually got to the point where I was trying to convince myself that by adding this thing to the cart for a bottle that I was buying for somebody else wouldn't actually break the no-buy, because it wasn't a transaction specifically for me. What? This makes me realize that I can't get too comfortable when things are going well, because the only reason I'm struggling with this now, I think, at the moment, is because other areas of my life are a bit of a struggle at the moment. I'm a bit stressed out about a few things. I'm not feeling the fittest that I've ever felt. You know, just things aren't going smoothly elsewhere, and all of a sudden I just have this really strong pull to shop for perfume. And I can recognize that, but even though I can recognize that, I'm still engaging in the behavior, and I'm telling myself, this is not healthy, or this is not going to help you, this is not going to solve your problem, this is not going to make you feel better. What's going to make you feel better is going to the gym, eating well, getting enough sleep, doing your work. And yet there I am, sitting on the couch, scrolling on my phone, and hoping that buying something that smells nice, I will be able to wipe away all of the issues that are going on elsewhere. And this is happening now, 8 months into this thing. I really thought a couple of months ago that I was in the clear and that I was going to get through the rest of the year no problem, and that it was all going to be really easy. No. This is like when you've been on a really strict diet and you've gotten a few weeks in and you've lost some kilos and you're looking good and it's starting to feel easier, and you just think you're home and hosed and you're going to be able to maintain this forever. And then something else happens in your life and all of a sudden you get knocked off the rails and you stop going to the gym for a few days, and then before you know it, those few days have slipped into a few weeks or a few months. It's very much like that. It's that all or nothing mentality. And I don't know if there is an easy answer. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's an easy answer. The easy answer is I need to do the things that are actually going to make me feel better, not do the thing that's just a sedative for whatever pain I'm feeling in that moment. But what I'm saying is I don't think there's an easy way around the pain of not being able to buy the things that I want to buy. I just have to suck it up and not buy them, and maybe I'll learn something from it. I know that was a little bit rambly. It was a little bit unstructured today because I just wanted to sit down and talk it through. So where to from here? I don't know. What I've been doing is putting everything on a wish list, and I posted on Instagram yesterday, I think. It was a post about me wearing a sample of L'Eau de Verre by Frederic Malle, And I think I said in my post that, you know, how much I loved it and that it was going on my wish list for 2023. And somebody responded to that post and said, sounds like that shopping list is going to be epic. Because I've probably had quite a few posts recently where I've been saying, oh, I love this, I'm going to add it to my wish list. So that's what I've been doing. That's how I've been handling it. I've just sort of put it on a list. So in my mind, I think, okay, well, at least I won't forget about it and it's there, and the perfume will be available next year still. And like, I mean, all these perfumes are, I don't think there's any risk of them being discontinued, the ones that are on my wish list. So I'm probably back a few months to maybe a couple of months into the no buy, where I was still going through those motions of watching reviews, reading blogs, and then wish listing things instead of buying things. And it doesn't really help with the time wasting aspect that I talked about, but at least I'm changing the habit of the action that results from doing those things. So before it was to buy something, now it's to wish list something and then try and move on. But I can tell you, I'm still obsessing over things at the moment. There's things that I want and I'm, you know, constantly thinking about them. I'm constantly looking up other reviews or blog posts about them. It's taking a lot of effort to just not buy them. But I guess this is just part of the course, you know, this is just part of the journey of learning to be happy with what you have. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there because this is getting long again. Thank you if you've made it this far. But I'm curious to know, a few of you have reached out and sort of indicated that you are doing some version of a no-buy yourselves. And I'm curious to know how you're going with that, if you're doing this, and any tactics you have developed to deal with the habitual behaviors that you had already developed. So please do share if you found certain things to be really helpful or helping you with your success of not shopping as much. And because I think maybe I need a few new strategies to help make it a little bit easier. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned, where I had sometimes played chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage